In life, we are all searching for the right path to our own journey to success, regardless of what we want in life. We are all looking for something that will satisfy ourselves in this world of uncertainty. But what if there is no right path? There is just only a right time for you to know yourself and have the courage to take a step even though it seems to have endless obstacles on your way. If there is one thing that life taught us in searching for success, we should be kind, because in kindness there is happiness, and if you are happy, then you already found your own success. Today, we will be talking about two inspiring people who have different backgrounds but share a common denominator. They both have succeeded in going against the odds of life. One demonstrated going beyond himself and caring for the marginalized in our society, and the other demonstrated how someone with disabilities can still pursue his passion and achieve his dreams in life. Efren Peñaflorida. Efren Peñaflorida was born in a poor family and grew up near a dump site. In the slums of the Philippines, urban gangs were rampant and children as young as 9 years old were pressured to join them. Fearfully walking the streets and eventually being pressured to join a gang opened young Efren's eyes, and he decided that one day he must help other children facing the same problems he observed growing up. In 1997, at age 16, Peñaflorida and his friends started the Dynamic Teen Company. They worked in their high school and offered their classmates an outlet to lift up themselves and their community. Their main goal was to divert the attention of students from joining gangs through self-development activities and community service. 2 years later, their company started Care of Impoverished Children. This is a program wherein they reach out to the children of slum areas and teach lessons in writing, reading, arithmetic, and English. Peñaflorida and his friends dedicated their weekends in pushing the Cariton classroom, a cart filled with books and school materials, to different unconventional places like graveyards and garbage dumps. Children from ages 2 to 14 would gather around the Cariton and not only learn topics on math and English, but also the love of learning and the value of education. Even though they lacked support during the early years, they managed to get by with recycling old bottles and newspapers and selling crafts to fund their efforts. In the present, Dynamic Teen Company has more than 10,000 members that are keeping in touch with 1,500 children living in the ghettos. They see potential among the problematic youth and eventually were successful in mentoring juvenile delinquents, like former gang members, dropouts, and addicts. These former delinquents are now also volunteers of the program and mentor children as well. Peñaflorida and the Dynamic Teen Company provided hope among the youth who have gone astray. They are there to guide them back to the right path and help them start over as productive members of society. In March 2009, Peñaflorida was included as a CNN hero and featured at the news organization's program to respect people who make uncommon commitments to help other people. On November 22, 2009, he was named CNN Hero of the Year. Just like Peñaflorida, we can embody the concept of being a person of others through acts of empathy, acts of availability, and ethics of care. All of us are very much aware of the problems we see around us, and it is our choice if we choose to help in addressing the problems of other people or turn a blind eye on their struggles. Fernando Kabigting. After being an already accomplished painter for 20 years, Fernando Kabigting faced one of the most difficult trials that challenged his entire life's work and his passion for arts. Back in 1999, Kabigting suffered a stroke while driving his youngest daughter to college. The stroke left him paralyzed on the left side of his face and right side of his body. He lost hearing on his left ear and had to wear an eye patch over one eye due to his double vision. After staying in the intensive care unit for 8 days and being released from the hospital after just 3 weeks, Kabigting soon discovered that he couldn't paint anymore. He could hold the brush but cannot seem to make it move. The aftermath of Kabigting's stroke left both him and his wife devastated. His wife, being a former preschool teacher, decided to encourage him to a different method. With a small tabletop and a splatter of paint on a piece of paper, Kabigting started to practice painting using his left hand. His first practice paintings were abstract, but they eventually grew less so. His first piece on a canvas depicted the final scene he saw seconds before getting unconscious, a tunnel with a distant source of light at the very end. He named it From Darkness to Light. After a few months, Kabigting painted landscapes and portraits. He then decided to start using watercolor in spite of the brush strokes' permanence using that medium. The Catholic Charities of Brooklyn and Queens, one of the agencies supported by the New York Times Neediest Cases Fund, drew $323 from the fund in order to support Kabigting and help him replenish his paint supply. After the accident, Kabigting drew more meaning in his painting since he now has to struggle with it. He said, "I used to be a perfectionist. Now I have to be contented with what's there." Presently based in Iloilo City, Kabigting and his wife flew to New York back in 2019 to open his milestone solo exhibit at the Philippine Center. Many of his works were displayed to celebrate his 60 years of being a Filipino artist. At age 80, I find myself looking back with fondness on all that I have experienced. At my age, I don't spend time regretting the things I can no longer do. I have learned to be less critical of myself, he said in his artist statement. We strongly believe that even the severely disabled person is able to contribute to our society. We won't know what somebody is capable of unless we will give them a chance to reach their full potential. As regular people in our society, we can show our appreciation for the skills and talents of persons with disabilities by motivating them, by advocating for their rights of inclusion not just in the workforce, but also in fields of sports and art. We are making the world a better place for them. The power of giving moral support not just to people with disabilities, but to all humans undervalued by others can help boost their confidence to do things with the best of their abilities. Furthermore, we can learn fundamental life lessons from the disabled people who manage to live through every day normally. They inspire us to move forward despite how difficult the days ahead may seem. They remind us that there is always a bright side waiting for us to discover if we let ourselves see it. We can do things beyond our expectations if we look for the things that make us happy. In some aspect, disabled people have the power to motivate us, for they are not incomplete because of their incapacities. Rather, they are greater than their disabilities. Sometimes, people misunderstand the concept of true success in life because they always set their goals and standards to become like their idols, to have the wealth, popularity, and luxurious things to possess. And there is nothing wrong with that because they earned it and worked hard for it. As long as we remember who we truly are and make them as inspiration to cultivate our own success. Just like the story of these two courageous Filipinos who fought different battles in life but have the same lesson on achieving their own definition of success. Efren Peñaflorida and Fernando Kabigting taught us how to become passionate and love the things that make us happy, and being selfless and serving others above ourselves will make us more human. In life, there are challenges that will really put us down and will make us feel that we are out of control of that situation. And if you think that you can't do anything to escape it, then face it. Focus on the things that you can do, and if you want to achieve something, you have to make your move now. Regardless how big or small your chosen steps, it's still a progress in building your own success.